Alrighty, we're walking out here to this line source trial. It's been a long time since I've done the last video. We've harvested it once, and so all of the oats are gone in the trial, but we're getting our second regrowth, and I just irrigated it, so we're going to go check our rain gauges and see what the moisture levels in each treatment are, and we'll go from there. Okay, here's our first rain gauge, and this is the dry land setting, and so there's probably not much of anything in there. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Maybe a drop. Anyways, we'll go on to the next one. Here's our next one, and we'll pull this up, and it looks like we've got about a 1/20th of an inch in there, but still not very much. I'll go ahead and record that. Okay, here's our next one. And it looks like we have about 2/10 of an inch. Alrighty, here's our next one. Maybe we'll be able to see it better if I go like this. Yeah, so oh, you can't see it very well anyways. Right here we're about about 5/10 of an inch. And our final one, this would be closest to the irrigation line. You can see the irrigation heads there and there. And this one is also at 5/10. These last two tend to be very similar. This was only irrigated for about 45 minutes, so the differences aren't separated very well, but in longer sets, usually you can see a bigger difference. But these two irrigation levels are very similar. One's just a little less water than what we would consider a full healthy irrigation. This middle irrigation is probably the most interesting, and it might be hard to observe, but there are a lot of weeds that occur at this level. If we walk across this level, we'll notice a lot of this weed pressure here in all of the areas except for where there was a herbicide treatment, which would be this one where the herbicide occurred. But even where oats were planted, see, here is where there were no oats, and so the weeds were allowed to grow a little more, and there's quite a bit of weed pressure in there, especially at this medium irrigation level. Anyway, here we get into some of these oat treatments. This first one at 10 pounds. It seems like the alfalfa grows a little better, and if we go down here, might not be able to compare it very easily, but this is the 40-pound oat rate. No, actually this is the 20 right here, 20 pounds of oats. And this is where a lot of the alfalfa is getting stunted from the treatment of the oats. Over here is 80. All of these higher treatments where it's 80, 40, and 20, they really do reduce the amount of alfalfa that's grown. If we walk down here to the dryland situation, you'll notice that there's hardly any alfalfa, if all. If we can find one, I don't know where it would be. As we walk across these oat treatments, dryland is really hard for alfalfa to get established, especially if there's moisture limitations. And all of this alfalfa in the entire area was allowed to emerge before we stressed it at all. So there was alfalfa here, and there is not anymore. Here is the 10-pound oat rate, and you'll notice that there are a lot of weeds here along with the oats, and there's very few alfalfa, but there's a couple. If you look closely, you'll be able to pick them out. We walk over here to the weed treatment where there was no herbicide and no oats applied. It's almost similar to the 10-pound oat treatment as far as the population of alfalfa goes, but there's quite a bit of weed pressure here. And then here is the herbicide, and you'll notice that for dryland alfalfa, this is decent establishment with one cut. And next year, this will probably grow with few yield limitations because the population established better, because there was no oat and weed competition. And you'll be able to see that as we walk along here. You can pick out the spots where there was a herbicide applied, and we can just continue to walk down on through here. And there are a lot of weeds there, a lot of bindweed. And here again is our last herbicide treatment, where when we're doing a dryland scenario, it's almost necessary to use a herbicide to establish the alfalfa. Anyway, that is my update for the day here at this line source trial. So have a good day.